That's you.
Step into the paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler, brought to you by Paranormal Inc., right here on WLFE DB Radio.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 40 of Step Into the
40.
40.
I know, man.
Yeah, dude.
Seems like it should be more, though.
It's 40.
You know, coming to you live from the Dirty Dina in Anne Arundel County, Maryland.
Yeah, baby. You'll have to pardon me. My allergies are acting up. You can probably see I'm a little bit red in the face, but hopefully I just took some medicine.
I just gave him a little before we came live.
Mama, he hit me. No.
Had to give him a quick one to keep him in line for the rest of the
I'm
weekend.
sorry, Daddy. Don't hit me.
We got a good show tonight, man. We got
Hell
a crew from one of my favorite places that I've been visiting since I was 4 years old. Know where that's at?
The pit bull of your arm?
Jersey.
Same place.
For those of you that
I love New Jersey. Don't get me wrong, guys.
those of you that follow us on our Paranormal Inc. page, you see that we have a collaboration event June 5th,
coming up.
June 5th.
Yeah.
At Fort Mifflin.
Mifflin. Yeah.
And we were asked to come up there with the folks that we have for you tonight, New Jersey Paranormal Investigations.
Yeah, baby. What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Howdy.
Welcome.
Hi, Ernie. Dave.
What's up, guys?
So why don't we start with introducing yourself? Barry, you go first.
Barry. Let's introduce Barry. Barry, go first.
Barry, go for it.
I'm waiting for a question. I'm waiting for them to say something.
Introduce yourself.
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear
We hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
No, I was going to say, Ernie, hey, Dave. I'm Barry. Michelle, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's the reception's a little broken up, so I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I'm Michelle DeMeo. I'm with New Jersey Paranormal Investigations. I've been in the field for about 15 years now.
Okay. And last but not least,
I'm Barry Ruggiero, and the same thing as Michelle. Michelle and I are actually the veterans. I've been in the field for 15 years now. I've seen a lot, experienced a lot. And really, that's it. We can go into different things that we do.
awesome.
And down the bottom there, we have JT and Sandy, correct?
Yes. How are you?
How you guys doing?
Welcome.
I know the other two. I never had the pleasure to meet you guys, I don't think.
Yeah, we actually met you out at the last Fort Mifflin event. We were there.
July. Back in July.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I was there. Dave couldn't make it that night. That was my
Hey, we got Michelle here twice.
You do.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, it's a
I
triple
just
ganger.
cut out of the one on my tablet because it's just acting so weird. So
Yeah, this actually seems better, Michelle.
Yep.
yeah, so I'm going to figure out how to exit out of this though. It's a whole other level for me.
It's gone.
All right, good. Now we're gone. So I'm just gonna use my cell phone if that's okay.
Yep, that's fine.
See,
Fantastic.
I feel so much better now because I'm not the only person that needs a tech guy.
You know,
Ellen.
the worst part is I always use my tablet for like on Zoom and for other things that I'm using for, and it sounded like it was all broken up. So now I'm a little worried that it's not going to work for my
No,
next call.
you're perfect now. You're perfect now.
Okay.
Man, let's jump right into it because I know once you guys get to talking, I'm going to have 50 freaking questions and wind up in left field somewhere. So,
yeah, we always end up, here's how we do this, and we end up way over there somewhere.
we was asked to be on a show one night. Was it Paratalk?
Probably Paratalk Radio.
I think like the last 30 seconds, we remembered that it was a paranormal show, and we actually managed to get some paranormal in there. Barry, how did you guys get hooked up with Fort Mifflin?
Is this the comedy show?
Barry.
Can he hear you?
Can't hear anybody.
Turn up the volume. Volume up.
Turn up the volume.
Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume.
Yeah, turn up.
I don't know. All right, Michelle, how did you guys get involved with Fort Mifflin?
Generally, Greg had reached out to Barry asking us if we wanted to host an event for them there. So that's how we got involved. And, we had done an event before. And Ernie, you came along to that last one, which was a lot of fun. And so now we're looking forward to having you there too, Dave.
Oh, I'm excited.
Dave went shortly after I was up there with you guys, but I wasn't with him.
I did. I went with some. Yep. I was gonna say here, we'll do this. Barry, turn up the volume.
You guys are great.
This is fantastic.
Barry. So I actually understand sign.
What do you think? What do you think the issue is?
It might be. Do you have any type of headset? Can you use a headset? There. Put a headset in. I don't know if you can hear me.
I don't think you can hear.
JT sent him a message.
All right.
Yeah, so somebody sent him a message. Put in a headset. Either that or jump out, jump back in.
Volume is.
There you go.
We can hear him.
I can hear you.
I don't have a headset.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's we're having fun, guys. Welcome.
I just told him to jump out and jump back in again, seeing if that fixes it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this button do? So how did you guys, JT, Sandy, how did you guys get into ghost hunting?
Actually, it was probably more me than JT. I'm the one who kind of dragged him along to a couple investigations first. And he was always kind of into it, but, we didn't really go a whole lot until I was the one who mentioned to him. I said, let's go do some. And then he got hooked.
Yeah, one of our first investigations was with these guys. So, the NJPI team. And it was a lot of fun. They were very welcoming. They were very informative. And we felt very comfortable at the investigation. And we just continued to join them from there. And it's I think we've been with the team since 2018.
Wow.
Oh wow, nice.
How long has the team been together?
I mean, I joined with Barry, I want to say maybe early 17 we joined, but he was, I don't know when exactly he started, but he started with his brother doing it. So I don't know exactly what year they started, but they did start together the New Jersey Paranormal show. So they did start that together. John continues to run that, but that's when. So I want to say how many years ago? That was at least 5 years, 6 years that's been running now.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's been around a while. So hopefully he can get back in here and let us know his exact date. I think here he
There
comes.
it is.
Barry!
Hey,
Can you hear me or no?
I can hear you.
you. Can you hear us?
Yes, they deliberately cut me out. Don't worry.
Perfect.
Yep.
We could, Barry, actually, we could hear you the entire time. You just wasn't getting
You
us.
weren't
I don't
getting
know
us.
why.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't say anything bad, did I?
No.
Define bad.
After the show, though, Barry, go back to the beginning and watch when you popped out because you got to hear what they said about you.
Yeah.
I deal with this every day.
We
Yeah.
had to actually hit the beep button a few times to.
Do
I'm
not
sorry.
listen to him. Do not listen to him.
Michelle, you said I'm only messing with you.
I know.
JT, are you trying to promote a mod? Put that cup down.
Beer tender, I need a bar.
Wait, hold on.
Mine's bigger.
No,
Sammy's got this one.
you do it right. You use a child sippy
Pick
cup.
up.
You gotta do it right.
Ah, there you go. The
There
sippy
you go.
cup.
He's grabbing.
Go for it, Ernie.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Anybody else have anything to promote while we're at it?
Well, if we're going for it.
Go on, Dave.
Guess where I got that?
Where?
Jersey.
There you go.
Hey,
Dirty Jersey.
Dirty Jersey.
Dave,
This is the best one, though.
Showing the
Coming out of the computer.
that is
Nice.
Oh yeah.
it's nice.
We had this is a secret, but I'll let it slip a little bit without giving it away.
Oh.
A good friend of ours had those cups made for Dave and I, and for Nick Groff and Johnny Hauser and Chad Lindbergh and Josh Hurd. We're the only four with them, but I can't reveal yet who had them made for us because that person will absolutely murder me. So at the right time, I'll
Yep.
spill the beans. So
Yep.
all right, let's get back on topic. Dave, you always get me everywhere else. Barry, our question was, when did New Jersey Paranormal Investigations, when did that team first form?
Like 7 years ago. Actually, the person I met, but after I left the previous group, I actually investigated for like a year by myself just to see, did a couple of residential places and just to see what it was like without a team to expose yourself by yourself to that. And then I decided that, it was it's better to have a team. And I actually met with Jackie and Michelle and I were just like kindred spirits. It felt like she was just a comfortable soul, and then Michelle and I were the first two. Jackie came in and we had other people and it sort of kept rotating through. And then I let Michelle take over all of that part of the team. And put in her two daughters, and we met JT and Sandy on one of our investigations, and we liked their passion and interest in it. And it's for us as a team, it's not so much what your background is as much as we get along great together. Mm-hmm. And over years now, we're like family with each other. We text each other.
Definitely.
We get together for things. So we're not going to take on any new members. This is it, Yeah,
I'd say, and I completely agree. We came from a team that was at one point like 11 people, and it was kind of almost like a revolt. I mean, we had our foundation, our core members, but then it was like a revolving door.
Yeah,
and that's when I decided to step away. Dave decided to come with me, and
wait. He did a solo project that he was doing, and I came with him. So
okay.
That's how
it works.
Gotta have the tech guy. It's awesome because, I compare. I mean, this might be a bad analogy, but I compare like a good paranormal team to like a good marriage, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you have to like the thing that Dave and I had going for us is we were friends for a couple years before we even knew each other were interested in the paranormal.
Right.
And we went to the same karate school. We seen each other 5 times a week.
Yep.
And then it came together.
Yep.
And so we had a good foundation and friendship and trust before this all, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's important
The-
for the team to function. It's important for the team to function well. Everybody has to be able to, think the same way, get along, and we'll kind of just do. It's like, you know what to do, and everybody just does it. So.
And if I can, I'm not giving advice to you all because you're very established. What I'm saying is, if I could give advice to people in general, put the pride aside.
Mhm.
Like, what I mean is, if I send something to Dave and I say, hey, Dave, I think, I don't know, for example, we call it an apparition. And he calls me back and was like, man, I looked at that. That's no apparition. It's this. Don't let that bother you, because that's what you got to have, that be able to argue it out and, give each other's opinions in order to establish, if something's real or not. And it's so much drama going on right now because people in this field, it seems like they can't communicate at times without getting mad at each other or arguing or I'm better than you.
We bounce things off of each other so often. Like, he's been sending me these videos from a friend that in another state that he's like, Dave, I can't tell what these are, and they're orbs, but they're slow moving, almost like plasma masses that are moving across an entire office space, and he's like, do you think these are legit? And I blew them up on my plasma, and I have a 70-inch plasma, and I'm taking them frame by frame. I'm like, dude, these are legit.
Yeah.
So he let the person know that sent them. So this person has sent us about 20 videos now?
It's just amazing.
Night after night after night, reoccurring.
Yeah, my friends Kim and Don in Florida. She works. I don't know the company, but if something triggers the camera or whatever, she gets an alert on her phone. Mm-hmm. And she's getting like almost nightly activity, and she automatically sends me the videos, and I send them to him because I'll be at work throughout the night, and I just send them to him because I can only see them on my phone.
So you got to have trust between your team and be able to, we've disagreed several times. I'm like, dude, you're on crack. That ain't what you like, well, what about this, and this? And I'm like, dude, you're on crack. Stop your stuff. But
I don't like orbs. I mean,
me neither.
In my opinion, 1 out of 100 is legit. It's just, and people get the misconception that even, if it's a legitimate orb, that it's Uncle Frank coming back. That's not what an orb is, man. But the point I was bringing up is you have to have that trust, and you have to have that willingness to be able to talk and, bounce ideas and knowledge off each other without getting butthurt, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But
Barry actually had a good one with an orb. He took a picture of me at one of the locations because he said the temperature was dropping. Something was just like didn't quite feel right to him. So he snapped a picture, and sure enough, in the picture, you could see clearly 2 orbs.
Wow.
So
that was in Lakewood. Lakewood
historical.
Yeah, Lakewood
historical.
Yeah.
Just a little background, what I believe, and with Sammy and JT, that was an event they were at. We were having interactions where there was temperature change, devices going off, a couple of EVPs. So when that was going on, I clicked the picture, and I clicked 2 or 3 pictures. When the temperature changed, I forget the K2, something went off. And at that point, just near Sandy, there was an orb. So I like to connect the dots.
Yeah.
I can bang on my bed right now and show you thousands of orbs.
Oh yeah. I find that so amusing. We have several people that send us pictures all the time, and we have to explain, look, that's not an orb. Here's what an orb is. Here's what it does and why. Right. You got to look at the movement. You got to look at the flight path. You got to look at the brilliance. You got to look at the color. You got to look at depth, things like that. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff you got to look at. You can't just go picture. Hey, look, that's an orb.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? due to technology, so the IR cameras. I mean, I have people, and all of us, we get people sending us the Ring camera on their front porch.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I've gotten several videos like that from one of our friends, and I had to look at her and go, "That's you see this like coming out of a window and right across, and it actually activated her Ring doorbell. Came across like this and went off. A few days later, it comes out of the screen like this.
Yeah.
And I've shown him, and I'm like, I can't explain that one. I cannot debunk it.
I tell you, if you guys don't, you may have one. I don't know, but I tell you, what's really good for debunking a lot of stuff is a full spectrum camera.
Yeah, it is, because it filters down. You don't have the optical illusion on everything. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Because I have a GoPro that still shots and video, but it's in full spectrum. And I tell you, you can really debunk a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Because I remember years ago, we were analyzing a digital photo. And I mean, we couldn't figure this out to save our lives. And I just happened to remember that I took a full spectrum shot around the same point in time. And just like that, we were able to debunk what it was. And I was like, all right, I'm sold on this now. Because that's back when they first started getting popular.
Yeah.
So
that's for me, that's what I try to do is I try to go through all the logical answers first. And then once you get to the, you can't figure out what it could be, then you could be on the realm of paranormal, but you have to go through all the, logical explanations. Yeah. And some people, they'll contact you when you say, well, that's just a bug in your Ring doorbell, or, you see something online and clearly it's dust or something. And you have, 47 Instagram people like, wow, that's amazing. And you look at it like it's dust. Like, people don't want to hear that. They want to hear that it's something more than what it really is. I want to remove all of that and just go down to, what really is this? Is this something that's beyond explainable? Then it'd be paranormal.
And JT, you're using a process called Occam's razor. Cut everything else away, and what's left, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. So, and that's how I debunk as well.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I tend to be a little bit of a skeptic. I mean, we've seen some stuff that was definitely like, what the heck was that?
Yeah.
I tell you, we were talking with Ted, one of the owners of the network, from the host of Paratalk Radio, and we were discussing EVPs, and he always brings up a good point. I mean, some EVPs are good captures, but it takes a lot to get to that EVP, and once you retrieve it, but his belief is that if we capture what we think is an EVP, and it takes us 6 hours of work in order just to hear it, you might as well just toss that out,
right?
Because it's like, well, if you listen, at this point in time, you're going to hear this, and then you'll hear this person, and then listen in the background, beside the thunder that you hear, and you're going to hear this one thing, and you're like, oh my Lord, have mercy. If we have to go through all that, let's just wait for the next one.
Yep.
Unless it's a Class A
Class A EVP, and we're good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing with EVPs is two things. Is like you said, any of the shows, what do you see right away? You'll hear, and they'll put in type what it says, and then oh yeah, that's what it says. It's just subliminal suggestion. One of the things I've found too is that your cheaper recorders that a lot of people carry around, the motor is so close to the microphone, you're going to get a hissing sound automatically. Now, some people on the paranormal will say, well, it's giving you ambient white noise. Michelle and I both have the Tuscan recorders, which are a higher end one. And I can tell you how many times it's sitting right next to the other recorder and I don't capture anything on it.
Right.
So I always debate and when you sit and listen, what I usually do, if I'm sitting and listening to something long enough, and I think I hear something, just what David was talking about, I'll get somebody, neighbor, my friend, anybody, and just say, not tell them what the setup is. What do you hear?
What do you hear?
Yeah.
What do you hear in this sound clip? And hello or something, I'll go, I thought that's what I hear too. That doesn't mean it is the case, but it gives me, okay, that sounds like everybody's saying it. And then I look for like logical words that I can hear. So a lot of times when people will go grade A, AVP or lesser, I'm like, unless it's a grade A, it's nothing. There's two explanations for it, just like Orbs.
Well, you were saying about the Tusky recorder you have. I have one that I actually got from Barry and
Stephen
Pam Barry. And we were at the Wax Museum with Lori Johnson. I had it on the stairs just kind of doing my thing, and I heard Lori say, "Hey, something just pulled my hair." Ran it back, and you can actually hear a child calling her on it, saying, "Lori," and then all of a sudden you hear her go, "Something just pulled my hair." Good Class A. I mean, those are great recorders.
And people have to understand is anybody out there who's, not that I'm an expert in any way, but people who are starting out, real people who do paranormal research, you have to have a lot of patience. You can't get like on board now. I got to find something. You just have to listen and experience.
Yeah.
I've gone out where nothing has happened more than.
And we noticed too, like in our experience, or at least a lot of the investigations that we've done, it seems like the first like hour or two is pretty quiet. It's kind of like you have to get a feel for the building, and the building has to get a feel for you, and then activity starts to happen like after that. At least for me, that's how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, some other people get things right away, but it seems like I have to get a feel for the place first, and then all of a sudden, like things will start to happen.
Michelle, I think you were with us last year, maybe the year before, whatever. We were hosting an event at the Princess House in York, PA.
Yes.
And, 3/4 of the way through the event, I guess we got down to about 50% of the crowd because it was getting late.
Yeah.
So we got down to like a handful of people, maybe 20, 30 minutes left, and that house came to life.
Yeah.
Came to life.
Absolutely.
We didn't get nothing really all night.
Kind of dead.
And then the last 20 minutes, man, it was like, all right, let's give them what they came for.
Yep.
And the place went crazy.
Yeah.
But
I think I was upstairs investigating by myself, and you guys were downstairs in the living room, and Dave was having this whole conversation. It was crazy, and I'm listening to you guys like going insane with whoever you were speaking with, but it was really, really cool.
Well, Grace was with us on that one, and the fun part is coming into the building. All of a sudden, her abilities are like just becoming pronounced. She's like, "Dad, somebody died here, and it was a boy," and she'd never been there. And she goes, "He fell off of like a ledge onto some steps." I'm like, "Honey, there's nothing here he could have done there. There's no way." Well, she was walking through, and she stepped on the second level steps going up to the top, and she goes, "Dad, it was here, and here's his name." And he fell from up there, and she'd never been there, and she pointed to this ledge.
She came up with some
name
off the wall name, not like a common and everyday name.
When we went downstairs having that conversation, she said, "Is this such and such?" And that's when it came to life. It was like just insane.
Wow.
That's cool.
And isn't it great when people are at an event and something does happen paranormal and they witness it? It's just amazing. Like because really it's not validation, but it's like, see, now you understand.
And I think now, like it amps things up. So like when with that particular night, like everyone was starting to get, a little rowdy, we were just so interested in everything. And then it just more and more was happening.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, Michelle, once again, I think you were with us, but remember the event at the Princess House with the door?
Yeah.
We were in before we went there. I had a medium friend of mine do a remote view, and I really, really trust this girl. Okay,
absolutely.
I mean, there's no nothing about her that she's going to fake anything. So she gave me the rundown, and one of the spirits that she said was there was like a nothing demonic, but a grumpy kind of like old man, so to speak. And we had our group in the bedroom,
second floor,
and there was a long hallway, and at the end of the hallway is a real heavy old wooden door. Like it probably since the house has been there.
Oak type heavy. I mean, it's that heavy.
Now, we were getting before the guests arrived and we did a preliminary, we got a lot of activity in that hallway. So I put a about 15 feet out, I put a motion light. So we're in the bedroom, we're doing like a Phasma box or something, and my medium friend says, "Hey Ernie, that man is in the hallway." So I said, if you are in the hallway, there's no reason to be afraid. Come toward my voice.
Can you come closer?
Right. Well, sure enough, my motion light come on. So I keep trying to entice him to come closer. Then all of a sudden we hear this noise. Our friend Andrew and Dave both go like this to look down the hallway, and they captured the door shutting on its own.
We could see both of us at the same time. Went, the door's moving, the door's moving, the door. It's just no flow.
But we tried, I guess, about 20 minutes to make that happen again. And I mean, we ran up and down the steps. I jumped up and down in front of the door. And
we tried.
And all night, at that point, I think we had a camera on it. And then all night, it didn't do nothing anymore until we were getting ready to leave.
5 people. Yep.
We were getting ready to leave. And I guess it was Dave. Asked if that door could shut again. And
can you do that again before we leave?
And it moved again.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the energy you bring definitely definitely helps, because you figure a lot of these locations, take Fort Mifflin, for example. Look how many people are there every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've hosted groups where people come in and they were just like blah. You know what I mean? It's like, oh boy, it's gonna be a long night. Then we've had other people that they had the energy like they were going to a rock concert.
Yep.
And once you bring that, it's like, all right, man, this is going to be fun, and the spirits come to life. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And once things start happening, that's when everybody gets really excited, because now you've seen something or heard something. So now it's like, now you're into it, because it's like, okay, what else is going to happen? So
Michelle, you've heard my EVP, Michelle, that I got at Haldeman, where the little girl calls for Jacob.
Yeah.
That is the best EVP I've ever captured to date. And I guess that was captured probably in about 2016. But that night, to go along with what Sandy's saying, that night I was hosting a midnight investigation at their Halloween party. Now, it was a bunch of drunks in costumes, looking for
they're fun.
Yeah, they were just basically there because, they wanted to relive like their favorite Scooby-Doo moment. And it was really hard to control them. But then once I captured that EVP, or prior to that EVP, we heard footsteps in the adjacent room. And once the crowd heard that, I never seen 35 people sober up so fast. And that place went, absolute, you could hear a pin drop. And they were like, oh wow, this is for real. And then everybody just tuned in and was into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, we had a good one too at Bolton Mansion, and we were in the basement, my favorite spot, and I thought it was me. I saw a shadow come from my right side and go around the wall and down. As I saw it, it blocked out the green. We had the green grid lights up, and it blocked out the grid lights. I saw it, and I was thinking, okay, maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me, whatever. But then I had a couple people across from me who, at the same time I saw it, all said, oh my God, did anybody else see that? So I was like, I said, you guys saw that too? They said, yeah. I'm like, this is fantastic, because we all saw it. And then, of course, the same thing. It was like, oh my God, what was that? And, I'm like, okay, good. It wasn't me just thinking I'm seeing things. Like, everybody else witnessed it as well. So that was really neat. You know, it's like that was my first ever shadow experience that I guess you could say I actually saw. You know, so, and at that point, as you said, like everybody gets into it. Now they're all looking, you know, what else is going to happen? They're looking at the walls. They're looking at everything. So
it totally changes the equipment of the room.
And it starts moving like that.
Yeah.
And down in the basement, we set up, like Sandy used the Ovilus or a spirit box or something, and we did cross thatching where we just had the laser crossing each other, and we introduced smoke, so you see the beams of light.
Right.
And they told me I come down, and it happened again. We literally saw, like Sandy said, there was a wall to one side. She's in the middle. Right over there, we see a shadow, and there's like 8 of us down there. Like, did you see it? Like, then we heard something move adjacent to the doorway, like on the dirt area. But it was just what you said. It was like the Bolton Mansion. When I always tell everybody, when you go to an event, like if I go to your place, and it's like a party. If I go in and I'm antisocial, what makes you think a spirit's going to want to communicate with me?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm quiet or I'm insulting. They're going to be like, you know what? I'm not talking. But if I go with it and I'm polite and I have an energy to me, they're attracted to the energy.
Yeah.
The other thing is when you have a place that has lots of investigation, who are you? How did you die? You know, can you tell them? You hear that over and over again. I tell people when they're coming into investigations, when we're doing public, go wild on them. Ask weird questions. I actually said that to one of my groups over at Haldeman. The lady upstairs, we had a whole bunch of equipment out. Nothing was really going on. And she goes, all right, I got one. Is Dave full of bullshit? And literally, the crowd started hysterically laughing, and all of a sudden, all the equipment went nuts.
You know, I find there's more evidence and more interaction when you're really not paying attention to them. You know, you're having your own conversations, you're talking about something different, and then there's like, well, they've got something to say too, so they're going to input.
Exactly. Right on the money. Right on the money.
You know what we ought to do one night? You just gave me a good idea. We ought to get a location that has what I like to call resident spirits. Like we know what's there or who's there.
Yeah.
What we ought to do is go in, set everything up, start talking, about the history, about wherever the venue is we're at, but totally
ignore them.
Yeah.
And just see if they kind of like butt in, like, "Hey, dumbass, you're not telling it right," or if they interact with us. That would be
that's a good experiment.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Barry, I gotta ask something real quick, Barry. Do you have any family in Baltimore?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Italian. I probably have that family in every boat.
I tell you, growing up, 5 minutes from my house was Rogerio's restaurant, and they let us build a skateboard ramp, half pipe, on the side of their restaurant in the parking lot. Well, come to find out, my original group I was with was my wife's uncle and aunt. They were in the group. And that's how I got into that group. But anyway, their house was once owned by the Ruggierios. And we've investigated their house numerous times and believe that the Ruggierios still pop in and out of the house. And that's why I'm asking if you have any relations to Baltimore.
I love all of my relatives were, it was like anything else when you're growing up. It was very cliquish to where they were all in North Jersey, and I could walk 7 blocks and tell you where my aunt lived. My one cousin was down a little bit or within 3 towns.
Right.
Like all good Italians, they migrated to Florida when they got older.
I just want to go back to what you guys were saying about going to a place and having a good old time, and then have it. We were at the Burlington County Prison. We were on the first level, the bottom level, and Michelle was with us, and we had some other people there, and we were having way too much of a good time. We were loud, we're laughing. It was ridiculous. And if you've ever been in that place, sound resonates through that building really
up to
easily.
the 3rd floor.
And we were actually having people from the 3rd floor come down like, you guys are way too loud. But once we started getting boisterous and really like just having a very good time down there, things started going off left and right down there. And we're like, this is incredible. Like they were enjoying the fun that we were having.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. Meanwhile, we're, ticking off to everybody else that's at the investigation because, we're just polluting everybody else's equipment in sound. But
you're trying to wake the bed.
But it was fantastic. It was a
good time. It was really a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had that issue because I am a loudmouth. I am German, I'm Scotch, and I'm Irish. So I'm loud, I'm proud. Ich spreche Deutsch, ich habe die Deutsche. I am full German, and I wear a T-shirt that says, "I'm not yelling at you. I'm German. We talk this way." So, Ernie, always hear Ernie go, "Dave, shut up."
we'll be on an investigation, and we'll have the the two-way walkie-talkies, and I'm like, we'll split the group in half, and I'm like, I'll tell my group, I'm like, what the hell do we even have these for? I don't. He talks on the walkie-talkie, and his actual voice is louder than what's coming through the freaking radio. So it's like.
Yeah, Dave could be on the other side of Waverly Hills. You'd still hear him.
Yeah.
Hey, I want Barry, just if you can talk a little bit about the upcoming event on June 5th and how people watching or listening can get tickets and all that good stuff.
Barry,
you sleep? Hello?
Oh, okay. I don't know if you have a link. No. Listen. Out for a minute.
I think we lost
break it up. We've lost him.
We lost him.
If you can hear us, Barry, we lost you.
He's frozen in time.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone beyond.
To infinity and beyond. Okay, Barry, we've completely lost your sound at this point. So, Michelle or JT and Sandy, can you guys tell us a little bit about the event that's coming up?
Michelle,
sure.
Yeah.
It's June 5th. I believe it starts at 7:00. I believe it's running 7 to midnight. You two are joining us, which would be great. Are you doing a little radio show ahead of time, maybe?
Yeah, we'll jump on the air for a little while, before the event starts.
A little something. The people can go on to Fort Mifflin, onto their website and look up that particular date, and there'll be a link where they can buy tickets. I don't know the cost of them, so I can't give that information off the top of my head. And I believe there's still some tickets available, but I believe they've already gone on sale.
Yeah, they have.
Awesome. Yeah. So and it sells out fast. So if you're not sure, you better get on now.
Yeah, now that they're up and now that the COVID's allowing things to go back, you can get them while you can get them, or else they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
I got a hat before time expires here. I got to ask each of you.
Yeah.
Since one of our upcoming is Fort Mifflin, what is your most memorable experience there?
Oh, Mifflin. I mean, I will have to say my most memorable was actually with you and my daughter Macy when you were using the Phasma box.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, when you took her outside and told her the code word, and when we went back inside, you asked the spirits to say that word, and
I completely
and it came through the Phasma box.
Yeah, I completely forgot about. I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, I do have one more thing too. That night when we were FaceTiming with Dave and his cabinet doors were opening.
Let me give you all a quick overview of that. What happened was Ernie went to Fort Mifflin. I couldn't make it, whatever. And so he called me and FaceTime with him and Michelle. And they were like, Dave, who's that girl that's talking in the background? And I'm like,
we can hear a girl in the background talking. Yeah. And I was like, after all these years, maybe he really is a player. I don't know.
I'm like, there's no one here. And what do? I hit the camera and I start, okay, look, the TV's not on. There's nobody here.
We went on a virtual tour of
his house.
I started in my kitchen and wandered around. Now, just an FYI, I was going through a very bad divorce at the time, and I had weird things going on in the house, including cabinet doors open. So I walked them entirely through the upstairs, and I came back, and I'm sitting there in my dining room, and all of a sudden Ernie's like, Dave, turn around. I turned around, my cabinet door opened.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was literally going, I'm like, oh, no.
That what Michelle brought up, this was really cool. We were in one of the casemates, and I took Michelle's daughter outside, and I said, give me a 2-syllable word. And she goes, yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know if I wrote it down.
You did.
I actually wrote it down. Yep. So I come back in and we, start pumping up the spirit a little bit. And I said, if you could, tell us because before I came back in the casemate, I said the word is yellow. Okay. So we go in and I asked if it could tell us what the password was. And a Phasma box responded by saying yellow. Mm-hmm. And a man behind me goes, I heard the color yellow. And I didn't say anything. I asked a few more questions, and then I reiterated. I said, can you tell us the password? And it said yellow. And then that's when I passed around the sheet that I wrote yellow on. So that was very cool. I was cool.
Yeah, we were in casemate number 1 when I went up there a few weeks after you guys were there. And I actually have a pencil test that I put down when I put a yes, no, and I put pencil on top and a pencil so I cross, see if I can get them to move it. And then I also had a K2 Ovilus going on at the same time, and the pencils didn't move, but it kept coming up. Pencil move on the Ovilus.
Wow.
So and what's his name? Greg O'Brien actually was with us at the time, and he's like, oh wow. So, but casemate 5 we had my daughter Grace and my rental kid Maddie. She's here so much. She's pretty much family at this point. So I'm not her dad. I'm her rental dad. That's
there you go.
So anyway, Maddie, she actually turns 14 today, but she was 13, and she said, "Dad, I just heard a bad word." And I'm like, "What word did you hear?" And she goes, "I can't say it." I'm like, "You're okay to say it. You're not going to get in trouble." And she goes, "I heard bitches leave." And Greg goes, "You heard right, because apparently there's a spirit there that doesn't like girls, and we call them that word." Mm-hmm. And she went, "What?"
Wow,
that's interesting.
You just said that was casemate 5.
That was casemate 5, correct?
Yeah.
So apparently there's a captain or something in there, someone in there that just doesn't like girls.
Yeah, usually a lot of people say, women, they say they get their hair touched in there and so on and so forth. I've not experienced that. I'm not against it. Go ahead, touch my hair, but don't harm me,
Yeah, don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Michelle, you and Ernie got a lot of great responses on the Phasma box that night.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was probably the best thing that happened, because every other place we went that night, it felt dead to me. Like I had no experiences of anything going on. I'm taking pictures, I'm doing audio, and I didn't catch anything that night. Tons of people said they had experiences. I didn't get anything. Then we go in there, and the Phasma box was just on fire, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
And
it's hit or miss sometimes,
With the Phasma box session too, I mean, everything was related. Like it all came together. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Yeah.
Barry, you have can you hear us now?
Yes.
Any final words before we cut you guys loose, because we're running out of time.
I hope everybody comes and joins all for the Fort Mifflin investigation. It's amazing. I have experiences there, and as you can tell from everybody else, they had experiences. We're so lucky to go into these places and have friends that say, "Yeah, bring people in."
Yeah,
let them experience what we have experienced.
Yeah.
And Greg is just a wealth of knowledge. You'll never
find it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of locations. And we're really happy to be doing it with you and Dave this year. We met Ernie last year, so this time it's going to get worse because we don't have to be on our best behavior this year.
And I will be around.
It is, and like you said, Greg, man, Greg's such a great guy.
Awesome.
You know, he's fun, he's knowledgeable, and it's going to be a good time. If you're seeing us or you're hearing us and you haven't bought tickets, they're going quick. Yeah. So you won't be disappointed. It's amazing. If you're not familiar with Fort Mifflin and you remember the original Ghost Hunters, it's the place where Grant Wilson saw the face come through the wall and drop it. I mean, it's just, I was asked Michelle when we got there, the first thing I wanted to do was to go to that window. I'm like, you gotta go up. But hey, I can't thank you guys enough, not only for being on here tonight, but including us on your event.
Absolutely.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're really looking forward to it.
Now, if the general public needs to get in touch with you guys for any reason, how do they find you?
Michelle?
You can find us on New Jersey Paranormal Investigations.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you use Twitter, I don't really use Twitter anymore, so there's not much going on Twitter. So, but Facebook, our Facebook page is our main page. We list our events there. Barry lists some wonderful, wonderful, spooky bedtime stories for everyone to enjoy. They are really, really very, very good. So if you want to check them out, they're really, really good.
Keep in mind, this is for all four of you. You know, as far as our Paranormal Inc. page, anything you want to promote that you got coming up,
yes, please.
Please, that's what it's there for.
Yep, we love doing that.
Thank you.
Put everything on there, man, and that's what it's there for.
Well, we are heading over on May 8th. We are doing a private over at the Conjuring House. So if we get any good info or responses, we'll share it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to.
Please.
You have to.
So one of the things that from earlier when we were talking about with the EVPs, we actually asked our like the people that are watching, if you get an EVP, don't just send it to me and go, what do you hear? Put it up on Paranormal Inc. Let people hear it. Yeah. Let them respond. Don't tell anybody, say, I've got an EVP. What do you hear?
Yeah.
If you got a picture, I've got a picture. What do you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got an awful lot of people on the page, but it's no one that's gonna, insult you or put you down or not.
Don't take it wrong. Don't take it bad.
Right.
Nope.
I love feedback, whether it be positive or negative. It tells me how I'm working. It gives me a good temperature of what I'm doing. Give you feedback.
Yeah.
Right. So what other people see or what they think too,
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's what, one of our bands, let me see if I can actually get it to where it says it. It says One Love.
Yep.
And so we do that. We want everybody's opinion, and everybody's opinion counts. Let's get One Love going, guys. And as well.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, thank you. We have a few announcements once we cut you guys loose, and we will see you on June 5th.
June 5th.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing you guys then. And everybody else is coming, so.
Make sure you guys.
For having us.
And when you get to Fort Mifflin, just follow Dave's voice. You'll know where we are.
You'll find us.
Last time I went there, I couldn't find it. I had to call Michelle to come out to the road to get me. I'm driving up there. I'm like, I think I'm in the wrong place here.
It's the other left.
I saved them. It's fine.
All right, stay in touch, guys. Okay, we're looking forward to
love you guys. Thank you.
Seeing more from you, and we'll see you on June 5th.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Bye.
All right, let me run through real quick, David, before we go. Next episode. It's our last episode before
our trip.
Yeah, we leave that week for the Paranormal Relief Project. So our special guest that night is going to be the one and only Tori Smith from the Paranormal Help Desk, Josh Hurd. Everybody knows who Josh Hurd is. Tori and Josh are going to be with us live on the next episode, as well as at the event.
Yep. So where are we going?
We are going. Let's get this. Let's do this officially here.
Manor.
Yeah, we will be at the Malvern Manor in Iowa for the Paranormal Relief Project, which is May 1st.
May 1st.
And we will be going live we're going to do an episode from Malvern. We will also be visiting the Velisca house the night prior. That's just wrong. The night prior to the event.
I'm going straight to hell. I'm sorry.
Now on May 22nd is what? Let's see. A couple weeks after we get back from Melbourne, we are debuting our first public investigation at DeVille Inc. in Baltimore.
Yep.
Everybody knows and loves Tony DeVille and his crew.
Yep.
We will be having a public investigation. Now, it's a little bit different. We're not putting links up and contact this, contact that. If you want tickets, message me or Dave, preferably me because I'm handling the tickets. This is a one-time only thing where Ernie's handling the tickets. So message me if you want to.
Dave got nothing to do with tickets. Dave's an investigator.
Message me if you want a ticket. Of course, what we just spoke of, June 5th is Fort Mifflin. You can go on the Fort Mifflin website to get your tickets there. And on June 19th is Samuel Miller Mansion, where we will be having our special guest investigator, our friend, the Maven Medium, Kelly Miller.
Love you, Kelly. Mwah.
If you want tickets to Sam Miller on June 19th, go to Ghost Tours on Locust.
Yep.
You can get your tickets there. Now we have another new one on July 17th. We will be at the historic 1912 Hoover House. And for those of you
where's that at?
That know Pam and Steve Barry,
it's
their new location. So that is in, I believe it's Waynesboro, PA.
Yep, Waynesboro, PA.
I think it's like 20 minutes outside of Gettysburg. And man, that takes us all the way up to almost the 2021 bash.
Yep.
So
that's coming soon.
Yeah, man, I can't
wait. So luckily this pandemic's right at the tail end. We're almost done. We're going full steam, guys. Let's roll.
So any of those events we just spoke of or whatever, just contact Dave or I. We can hook you up. Hope to see everybody soon. And be sure to come back in 2 weeks for our next episode with Tori and Josh. We're going to be talking all about the Paranormal Relief Project, all the locations all over the country that's hosting this.
Yep, this is going to be amazing.
This is going to be an amazing event. May 1st.
Tori has done a lot of work.
I tell you what, man. I remember when Tori contacted me a year ago.
We got to say this for 2 weeks. We got don't let it. There's so much to talk about.
No, I'm saying I'm not giving nothing away. But Tori contacted me about a year ago and was like, "Hey, I got this idea. What do you think?" And she told me about it. And I was like, "Man, that is amazing." And I tell you what, man, the progress that she made, like I can't believe the way this event is going off.
Right.
That Tori and everyone involved, how they brought this thing to light, and it's gonna be every year.
Yep.
So
I'm honored to be part of it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going home tonight and pack. So, guys, thank you for spending an hour of your Sunday with us. Hope you're staying safe, enjoying the weather, and anything you got to post, man, go on Paranormal Inc., post it. We'd love to see it. We'd love to hear from you, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Good night.
Keep it spooky, guys.
You've been listening to Step Into the Paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler. Thank you for listening, and listen in next week for another topic and more great guests right here on WLFE DB Radio Network.